folks. Up to 18 followers on Twitch with no streaming this week. Come on, pop up. There we go. Up to 18 followers on Twitch. Boom. No work and talk.
You got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Gosh darn it.
You got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Talk again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, your audio's coming in. Sounds good.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Okay, your audio's coming in. Sounds good. Okay. Here's the bad thing about this new program. I don't have the chat yet because I got to put that in separate. So we will
live right now on Twitch?
Yeah, because we got that's the only way we could test if it's working or not.
True. I was about to tweet it out and I don't.
Okay, all right. Whoever's watching, you just got to see our audio. Whatever. We're just gonna start. We ain't going live again. Go ahead, tweet it out.
All right. Yo, people, I did not expect for that tweet to really go blow up like that.
Which one? Oh, your GM tweet?
Me.
Save it for the show, bro. Taking all our content. Let's put it this way, though. You're not very good at judging talent.
Oh, I'm actually really good at that.
Disagree.
It'd be a really good GM. I played on championship teams, so I understand what it takes.
Yeah, that's what it takes to be a good GM. You're right. There have been no GMs who have never played on a championship team.
Right.
All right, that was super delayed, so I hope your internet's not messing up.
So I've seen.
Your cam just froze a little bit too. No big deal. Don't worry.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Tell me when you're ready. Thanks for bearing with us, people.
Hey.
What'd you do?
Switch networks. Better?
All right. Yep. Here we go.
Yeah, switching internet network.
What episode are we on? We are on episode... Is this 44? That's what I'm going to say, so I hope it is. All right, here we go. Thank you for tapping into some Untapped Keg. One of your hosts, RJ Zimmerman, here with my brother-in-law, Monte Ball. How has your week been, sir?
Been good. Busy. Very, very busy, actually. So I immediately want to get this off my chest. I know I've been streaming prior, but this week, an extremely busy week. Had to finalize some things.
Now, let's tell the truth. Let's
Some
tell the
important
truth about
things.
what really happened. Let's let everybody know. Our Elgato died on Monday or Tuesday night, right? And then it killed your PS4. So we plugged it into my PS4, and it corrupted
Yeah.
it, and I had completely factory reset it. So that is
Yeah.
really what happened. We
So
had
the
no PS4 to stream from for
absolutely.
until late
Yep.
last night.
Yep. The Elgato screwed up on us and kind of messed some things up. I had to run to Best Buy, get what I needed to get. And then just like RJ stated, it messed up my PS4. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Now am I gonna be forced to go get a PS5? And obviously you had your
Well,
old PS4, and
let's be real. There's no PS5s to get, right? It's not like
that's
you
what I'm
haven't been
saying.
looking.
That's what I'm saying. Good point. It's that in a nutshell was the week. It was unexpected. Because it was, okay, the Elgato's a little messed up. All right, that's fine. Maybe I'll just go return it and get another one. And then all of a sudden the PS4 glitches out, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a world of hurt right now. But we got to fix. I will be streaming after this. Well, at about 2 o'clock actually, 2:30. But man, all has been well on my end. How about yourself?
It was a busy week as well. I think everybody had that this week, right? Because for the most part, previous 2 weeks, people been off. For me, it was like the previous 3.5 weeks. So just getting back in the swing of things. Set up my Monday for pretty easy day. Just kind of getting things in order. Of course, first day back at work. Several curveballs to change things around. Especially, I knew that things might be different. So before I left, I was trying to get an idea of what would be there for when I get back. And then, of course, everything that I figured would be there ended up happening. And they kept telling me, oh, no, you're coming back to this job. But we changed jobs, so I got to drive a different way. So in the morning when I'm super tired, hopefully I don't go on autopilot and go to the same place I've been for 4 months. So
I didn't even realize that.
yeah, so the it's the same drive, so I'm home at the same night, or same time and everything, but different direction. And then the kids are, man, they run everybody ragged. Say it every time, but for real. I mean, you guys had them over Christmas for 24 hours, and you guys were knocked out for 3 days.
I tell you what, there's something, man. There's something special. They are extremely energetic as they should be. You're talking a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I mean, two boys too. So they're just getting started, man. We're just getting started. I'm glad to see my camera finally focused. So there we go. Something was going on with it, but man, I got too much going on here in my mind.
Pent
We gotta.
up rage, is that what it is, or is it emotion?
I don't
Is
even
it
know. I don't even know.
frustration?
All of it. All of it. I think we would be doing a disservice if we did not speak on the insurrection that happened. I mean, and again, I don't want to, I don't want it to be 40 minutes, 45 minutes, but I feel like love, RJ, when you've been kind of taking, our Twitter account, you kind of been mastering that. and putting out some appropriate tweets, I think. And that's kind of what I would mention. I think it's we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't speak on where we stand. I know we had for maybe the first 20 episodes of our podcast, but I feel like it's that I told you so. That I told you so. Um, whether you were blue or red, whether you're black, whether you're white, he told you so. And I feel like most people now on social media who were huge Trump supporters have been kind of quiet lately because everybody has told you so. It's not the
I don't,
those
I don't think you've been
individuals.
looking in the right places if you think they've been quiet.
Bro, well, that's I don't want to look in
Yes.
those places then because I'm going to be very upset, very very upset. But I think it's here at
Yes.
Untapped Keg. We do not appreciate. We most definitely condemn hatred. We condemn everything that Trump stands for. Obviously, because everything that he stood for, I think we saw the pinnacle of it, the final act of it, this past Wednesday during the insurrection. And I think that's very infectious, poisonous, cancerous to American democracy. I mean, like I said, whether you're blue or red, that's not what we need. We don't need people storming the Capitol and planting bombs because of their president, the person they voted for, did not win. I think to the day I die, I will never understand how a group of adults, a lot of adults, say, you know what? I'm gonna get dressed today. I'm gonna go storm the capital of the United States of America. I don't think that I'll ever be able to understand that. And maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't think that I'm
No.
supposed to think that way. but but it's just mind blowing to me, man. I really want to hear your thoughts on that because I pretty much I've been very vocal on social media and I kind of expressed it there. I don't want to go too much further with it because I don't want to give it that much attention. It's a bunch of adults acting like children. But I kind of want to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Well, for me, I tweeted out from both Facebook and Twitter that, you know, for anybody who is questioning, we believe Black Lives Matter. We believe science is real. And we believe LGBTQIA rights are human rights. For anybody who is wondering where we stand on any issue, you can look at pretty much those three. And there's more that I probably should have included, but I felt like those three encapsulated kind of how we believe to begin with. You can go from there as our like base principles, and you can fan out. And maybe there are times where we could be better allies. There's times where we're learning, we're growing. Like that's what I put also in that message was we wanted to make a space in a community where we can grow, we can make mistakes, we can learn from them. Hopefully they're not massive mistakes that cost human lives. Hopefully they revolve around trying to make the right decision, because all you can really do is when you make decisions, use the information that you have available to make the best decision possible. I think that's what everybody tries to do. At least I hope that's what everybody tries to do. Doesn't necessarily always work out that way, but we have seen for the past, what has it been, 16 years? No. 12 years. It's really been 12 years. This rabbit hole that has been created that people are going down. It started when Obama first got elected, and it just took off with the Tea Party. They said it was about the debt. They said it was about taxes. They said it was about foreign money. But when the Tea Party got in power, that debt went up. They voted for it. When the Freedom Caucus, which is all Tea Party members, They supported those tax cuts that increased the national debt by over $2 trillion. This is just facts. Like, you can look it up if you want to. It seems like a lot of people are burying their heads in the sand for cause and effect relationships. And there's a lot wrong they can be pointed to with our society. And it doesn't just stop at the United States of America. It stops at, it goes to, I would say, Eurocentric societies for the most part. I'm talking to you white people, which includes me. We, for some reason, cannot accept our history. Anytime somebody brings it up,
give it to them.
Anytime brings up our history, we're like, well, that was then. Like, this is now. Like, we treat everybody with respect until they don't give it to us, until it has to be a police officer shooting and killing, shooting and paralyzing, beating up people. You look at the police response, the National Guard response to the Black Lives Matter protests over the summer, and you look at what was there at Capitol Hill this weekend, and the stark contrast. That is the difference, right? That is what we've been saying. That's what activists have been saying. That's what Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, go all the way back to, the Jim Crow era, even before that. You got, Reconstruction era. Just the prejudices that were there. I had somebody tell me, well, if you just listen to the police, this wouldn't happen. Well, obviously that is completely, totally untrue when you can be sitting in your house eating ice cream and shot and killed, and then they only get 3 years because they're a good person. Or Breonna Taylor sleeping in her bed with a no-knock warrant, and the police are, they have the wrong address. They already had the person they were looking for in custody. They went anyway. Obviously, only one police officer was charged for shooting the drywall. Not for shooting a person, for shooting the drywall. When people talk about defunding the police, it does not mean that you're making the police non-existent. It means that you're taking that money and you're moving it to social programs that are actually people who should be taking the calls, right? So I believe, I could be wrong here, but I believe the last police shooting death in Madison was because they got called to help with a somebody who was having some mental issues, and the police didn't know how to handle it, felt their lives were in danger from a 17-year-old kid was shot and killed in his own apartment. That should not be police officers responding to that, because obviously they can't handle the training. I don't know how many times, thinking back to high school, thinking back to college, thinking back to 2-3 years ago, you call the police to de-escalate a situation and it ends up escalating. Like, that's not the reason that you call the police, is because they're supposed to make the situation safe. Oftentimes that's not the case. It's not always their fault. They're not trained for situations that they get called into. That's why you take those funds and you move them over to some place where it could better help, right? You could take those local funds to help the homeless population, develop a safety net. A rising tide lifts all boats. So if we pick up our most needy, if we give people, a little bit of pride in their life, a little bit of, a little bit of dignity, then you're not going to see the desperation that you see out there. Desperation creates a lot of the situations that we see. And when a police officer says that they fear for their lives, what they're really saying is they're in a desperate situation and they don't know how else to handle it. So if you remove people from desperation, you're going to put people in a better place to make decisions. You know, we
Good
haven't
point.
always handled it great. Think back to myself maybe throwing my work under the bus. I believe they deserved it. I believe they still deserve it, but there's better routes to go about it than just, you know, blasting all over. And maybe it's
Right.
stuff that they don't know, that they you can't change things if you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
White people, we know our history, right? We know that it wasn't black people dragging black people and hanging them from trees in a mob. Like, that was white people. And the reason that we're talking about this in connection with those insurrectionists is because the reason that those people, the deep down reason that happened, that this divide is there, is because they think that including people means that you're excluding them. That's not the case at all. Giving everybody an equal chance doesn't mean that you don't have a chance. It just means that how you believe that you got your chance is actually reality now, instead of you having, you know, 3-4 steps up the ladder before that next person gets a chance. So
Right. Right. I'm gonna chime in here real quick, man.
yeah,
I think you made some great points because back when you first started and you started talking about off the top of my head right now, I can't remember, but it led me straight to that one saying that I always kind of stuck with me, and it's really coming alive today in a sense where it's black men in America are viewed similar to how pit bulls are viewed. When you see a pit bull, you walk up to a pit bull, it's like, so is that a nice pit bull? Is it a kind pit bull? Is it, I don't know. But as soon as it presents itself as it's kind, it's nice, then you're like, okay, it's a cool pit bull. I kind of feel like that's how black men, black people are viewed in America as well too. It's you're not welcomed over here unless if you act a certain way, unless if you are conservative.
talk a
That's what
certain
Lindsey
way.
Graham, not pretty much is exactly what Lindsey Graham actually stated,
Yep.
that black people are welcomed in South Carolina as long as if they're conservative, similar kind of ideology to pit bulls. So it's that if you're a successful black person, okay, I accept you. You know, you're different. There's this gatekeeping, there's this filtering system that black people have to go through in order to be accepted, which that's so inappropriate. So inappropriate. And that just I think just goes back to what you stated. That all started. I mean, obviously it's been going on for 400 years, reformed racism, but I like what you said about the last 12 years. The last 12 years, Obama took office, that that hatred, that kind of was just growing and manifesting from a black man being at the highest power on the planet. People ran out and just voted for anybody else once he finished his second term just to erase everything that he did. I think this is what you said. It's that people are too afraid of equality because they believe that if we practice equality, then we're going to be excluding them. We're going to be oppressing white people. And it's like, that's not true. So I wanted to kind of get that off my chest because immediately once you started stating that, I thought about that. I'm like, God, and I heard that before. Black people, pit bulls. It's that, you know, that comparison, that parallel, that's really blinding right there. So I don't want to just mention that, but all in all, I kind of think when we speak about insurrection or the insurrectionists or
It's it's been
these individuals who would,
go ahead.
I got the loss of words. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm at a loss of words because I did not expect for it to get to this point. Did not expect for it to get to this point. I'll be honest. I didn't.
Um,
I
I'll
gave the people more.
faith,
I don't
trust,
know.
respect.
Yeah.
Um, I did expect it to get to this point, to be honest. I've been telling my wife that we for real need to make go bags in case things really hit the fan, because I have felt that the way that side has been talking, the way that you saw, like at the Black Lives Matter protests, you saw these militias show up. The way that the safer home orders, you saw these militias storm capitals. You saw the plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan. These people want a civil war, and they think they're in the right. They think that they are going to win. They don't believe that the first Civil War was fought over slavery. But it was. Like, it was. We whitewashed that history to make it seem like it was economic anxiety.
What?
Which technically it was economic anxiety, because their entire economy was based around slavery. But it was about slavery. It really was. If you go back and you read real writings at the time, if you read, unedited, if you read history books that aren't kind to Southern, the Southern insurrectionists, you will see exactly what it was about, which was slavery. These people are on 4chan, 8chan. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up. It's disgusting. They're plotting violence constantly. And now, since the president incited this violent mob to go to the Capitol, in which no violent occupying force had taken since 1812, has now happened in 2021. The Union Jack, or whatever it's called, the Jack flag, whatever, the rebel battle flag, the Confederate battle flag, never made it close to DC.
Right.
And it was just flown in the Capitol proudly. This buildup started with the birther movement. It started honestly with when Fox News decided that they were going to skirt reality and make things extreme. It's been happening since then, and it's just gotten worse. We should have seen it at rallies. Like, what president in history held rallies while they were in office? None. That's not something that the United States of America presidents do. That's something that is a lot more nefarious. If you look at the history of the world and world leaders, what that has led to. It's a lot of blind faith to what America is, but this is what America is. This is what America's been.
Yes.
It's been racial anxiety because white people are turning into the minority in the United States of America. That's okay. The only reason that white people are scared is because white people haven't treated other people fairly, didn't treat them well, so they're scared they're gonna get some of their own treatment.
So I was about to say, the ironic part of that is, why would you be afraid to become a minority?
Yep.
I need someone to answer that question for me, a white person. And as soon as if they honestly answer that question, then I'm gonna be like, so you never, sounds like you have not put any efforts towards helping out those who have been oppressed. You're too afraid to you're too afraid to lose that status quo. You're too afraid to lose that superiority type. I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I get very frustrated with this stuff. Really, really do, because I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and I told her, I said I read something a long time ago. Not a long time. It was about 3-4 years ago. And obviously, RJ, where we're from. I grew up in a predominantly white town. Had all white friends. I read something along the lines of it stated that they only like you because you're a black athlete. Do they have any other black friends? And that was earth shattering to me. Earth shattering, because it was true.
I mean,
It was true. It was true. None of my friends back home have any black friends. Um, One of my friends had a wedding last year. I was the only person of color. Our other friend got married last year as well. I obviously saw videos and stuff for the wedding. And I'm talking people I grew up with since the age of like 10, 11. Um, and in the video, you didn't see a single person from any sort of ethnic background, any person of color, nothing like that. And I was just like, wow. So for the longest time, through from age like 10 to senior year in high school, more times than not, about 90% of the time, I was only and always the black person, the only black person at our events, our gatherings, etc. So my question is, would they have been friends with me if I wasn't an athlete? So stuff is that stuff makes you think. It makes you think, man. Makes you think. But I think in hindsight, already from the insurrection, I've stated it already, and I said it. I think on the day that it happened. I'm obviously not. When I say I'm glad that it happened, I'm not saying obviously I'm glad people lost their lives. I don't want people to misinterpret that. But I think that there's a huge lesson there. I think the lesson there is for those who have been sitting on the sidelines, those who are too afraid to speak out against systemic racism, for those who are too afraid to speak out, some individuals in their book clubs, their coffee meetings, etc. I think that was a lesson. The insurrection was a lesson that, wow, we all can collectively agree if that was a group of black people, they would not have made it up the steps. We all know that for a fact. Then you watch the videos, you see police officers removing the barricades. You see police officers taking selfies with them. You see police officers waving them in. So that is there's no more proof. There's no more tangible evidence that one needs to explain that systemic racism still exists. That is it right there. That is it right there. Something that you can actually reach out and grab, which is a video to show it. So I'm upset, I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, I'm angry. I hope we take that as a lesson.
I hope that one day, you know, a collective of the American people can look back and be embarrassed by not just things they've said, but by maybe their votes, maybe their associations. You know,
Yeah.
this is one of those times where I would definitely be drinking this week. Like, what do you do? Like, I was frustrated for a lot of the week. Some of it had to do with because I knew family members who were stating that these aren't like the Black Lives Matter riots. They're burning things down. Yeah, this is
why you're trying to pick out exactly like, okay, oh, that's what they did during the Black Lives Matter movement, so then it's not similar to what they're doing here. Come come on, man. I don't I'm sorry, go ahead, man. I get
no, I get it. Yeah, it really made me honestly. It made me think back to the times that I would drink. Like, this is that time. It's tough. You talk to everybody or anybody, and they're stressed out about what's going on right now. I'm stressed constantly. I mean, it doesn't have to be triggered. It's just I have a feeling of what's coming. Like, the writing is on the wall. It's just whether you want to read it. There is gonna be more violence before this gets better. It's gonna take some adults to actually stand up and point it out. And it's not just gonna take adults, it's gonna take white adults to do it. We need to, at this point, you need to shove people's face in it and tell them this is poop, it's not food. That's, I don't know. That's,
I like that. I like that analogy. You're right on it. I don't think you should. I don't think there's any. I don't think you're in the wrong for saying that, because that's kind of how I felt, and that's when I was having these conversations. Obviously I'd post something and then someone would reach out to me and we'd chat. And so behind having these conversations behind closed door, I would state similar things that I almost want to make it an effort of mine. I want almost wake up and say, which Trump supporter can I reach out to today and shove this in their face? Because I think that the goal with that is I don't want for us to forget. I don't want for us to let Trump supporters crawl back into their caves and come out the other end whenever Biden takes presidency and be like, oh, it's just something we wanted to try out. We just kind of wanted to switch things up, and I had some long conversations, and I'm all better now. I don't want that. I most wanted them to be like printed in a sense, like the Scarlet Letter.
you mean like
Like you.
Inglorious Bastards
That's
carved
what I'm
into their
saying, man.
forehead?
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, obviously, here at Untapped Cake, we are not inciting violence, but we're speaking just pure, just
Out of frustration.
out of frustration, where it's, I don't want for people to lay off. I don't want people to lay off. I want for people to continuously rub it in Trump supporters' faces that whether you were part of the insurrection or not, your vote, your vote helped him to get into office. That's a fact. Your vote helped him get into office. Period. That's just what it is. Your vote, your vote, your vote, your votes, your collective votes helped this man get into office. And I'm not surprised. I'm not mad at Trump. I'm not mad at Trump because Trump
You
showed
still
us who
should
he
be.
was day
You
one.
still should be, because he's not a good person.
Right. Exactly. But my point is he showed us who he was day one. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm upset with him, but I'm not surprised. That's what I mean. I'm surprised. Trump, that's how Trump was. He was running for presidency. I'm more surprised and angry at the individuals who still rally behind him, still make excuses, who still try to sweep it all under the rug. It's just these double standards are annoying and childish. So long story short, it can be a powerful lesson, and I hope that it is. I hope that it's not just a lesson for those reading the history books 20 years from now. Obviously, that's a great thing. I want this to be a lesson come January 20th, January 21st, when Biden gets in the office. I want this to be smashed into every single Trump supporter's face for the next 4 years. Yeah. But I'll leave it at that. I mean, I can go off the deep end with that stuff because I don't. I have zero respect for people who can't say, "Okay, I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and I was fooled." If you were to say that to me, I would still be like, "Okay, you still voted for Trump, so I'm still gonna keep an eye on you, but taking the right steps at least." But I don't know, man. I'm angry. Angry. I'm angry. But
Me too.
in other news, because when we talk about that, I just have so much going in my mind. Because I'm angry, I'm upset, I have so many emotions, I'm confused. But anyways, enough of that. Enough of that. Shall we talk about
Move on. Move on to something. One thing I want to do right now, more lighthearted. Um, I want to, you know, we got a message this week, and we got together and made a phone call. Um, and it was awesome. It was
oh yeah.
exactly what I needed. It was I think it was I think he was impressed too. I want to shout out 100 days to Corey. Went sober. He's 100 days We made a phone call and talked to him, and he
That's right.
he was very open and honest with us, and we appreciate it. But I just want everybody to know, like, if you want to message us about anything, we'll talk to you. It's so hard to continue to be sober right now with everything going on in the world, with pandemic. You're stuck at home with maybe what your friends are doing. It's hard no matter what, because of when your friends are doing things and you feel left out. Like that's hard. It's hard to continue to follow on this journey, but it's worth it. It is worth it. It helps make you a better person. So I want to shout that out. I want to shout out Corey for his 100 days. That's awesome. It's amazing. He's got a good head on his shoulders. It's so cliche, but one step at a time, and reach out to us. Any method that we throw out there, any method that you can. Like I said, untappedcake.com, untappedcake Twitter, untappedcake Facebook, untappedcake Instagram, YouTube comments, anything. Like we're there. So we're trying to grow a community here that allows for growth. So hopefully we can all accept our mistakes and move forward, try to be better people. So I wanted to hit there before we moved on, because I think I know what's going to happen next. What do you got here, Mons?
No. I think before we transition, I think that phone call was awesome, man. I think it's we mean it. We mean it. Reach out. He reached out, and we called him. And had like a 30-minute conversation with him, and it was moving, man. It was moving because everything's coming to fruition in a sense with all of this and building that community, and now having someone reach out, and we called them. We have individuals reaching out, but we will call you guys if you guys want us to, so we can make it happen. So keep it going, Corey. There's pretty awesome stuff. Now for the transition.
All right, what do you got there, big dog?
The Broncos GM, man. The Broncos GM, I think.
Yeah, I see what you're wearing. This is your official video announcing your candidacy. Push your glasses up. Talk about analytics.
No, but for real, man. I think, so I put out a tweet. Yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe. Pretty much, I'm pushing my own run, my own candidacy for, I can never say that word, by the way, but for GM, general manager for the Denver Broncos. That is what I want. I think that would really be a good fit, but obviously, I mean, come on.
Should we talk about what happened? Because that happened after our last episode. After I stated that I think he gets 2 more years, you thought he'd get 1 more year. Elway stepped down. Or he kind of stepped down and then moved up.
They politely fired him. And he moved up. What is exactly his title? He's
president of football operations.
Ellis is there, so I think they're trying to push Ellis out. But long story short, Elway has climbed the ladder. Obviously freeing up the GM spot for the Broncos. Broncos have not been doing well since, obviously, the 2015 Super Bowl 51. Actually, for the last 4 years or 5 seasons, they have been the worst team in the history of the NFL.
That's false.
After a Super Bowl win. Mm-hmm. After the Super Bowl win, they have, statistically speaking, have been the worst. Yeah, after the Super Bowl win. For the last 4 5 seasons.
The Philadelphia Eagles are nipping at your heels right now.
Probably, but Broncos have not been doing well. They haven't. They have not been doing well since that 2015 win. And let's be honest, defense was really good. Defense did it. And
that's
again,
what I was gonna say. The offense didn't do much to get you that Super Bowl. That was all defense. 120%.
Absolutely, and then it's Elway or Peyton Manning fell into Elway's lap. So
I mean,
I'm
you
glad
do
that
have
the
to give him
Broncos made that
credit
change.
for getting the deal done. Just like,
True,
I
true,
mean,
true.
for me, it's hard to credit Ted Thompson for drafting Aaron Rodgers, but he did pull the trigger. Brett Favre
That's
was
true.
still there.
That's true. That's true. I'll give you
So
that. I'll give you that.
we
So
give him credit, but it's not a high credit.
true, true. And so what I did was I tweeted out that hey, just Broncos just completely go the unorthodox route, and let's just throw the resumes to the side. Obviously, everyone's people who don't have any past experience with GM position are obviously going to state that, but told them let's go the unorthodox route. Just hire me, give me the interview, and hire me for the GM position. Um, I think I'd crush it. I really do. I think I'd crush it. I think it's like I love chess. I love piecing
Do
things
you love
together in
money
a sense.
management?
We may have to hire somebody for that.
Your face says it all.
Wait. If I was GM, I would
You,
hire somebody
a
to
budget
worry about the
specialist.
salary cap. You worry about the cap. You just tell me how much I got and who I can go get. But obviously, let's be real
Well,
here. Obviously,
you're
I'm
the GM. You
not
say
going to
who
be a
you're gonna go
GM.
get. It's just how
Yeah.
much money can I spend?
How much do I have in the budget?
Let's
So it's
get creative with this contract. Front load it
right.
for a year.
Exactly. No, I think this stuff will be fun, but honestly, I'll step back into reality here. Whoever they do get for that position, for one, they have a lot of pressure on them. A lot of pressure on them. I think they're immediately in the hot seat as soon as they get in, um, because something has to happen. I do not have any faith in Drew Lock. I most definitely don't. I think that there needs
You
to
went on a
be
radio show and said the opposite.
no. I I don't. I don't, and I'll change it. I'll change it. I change it right now because I don't have faith in him at the current moment. If we do not draft a quarterback and get some quarterback competition back there, we need to get quarterback competition back there. Yeah, I may be contradicting myself here, but that's kind of how Drew Lock's gameplay has been. He'll play really well, and then he'll go 2 games playing pretty poorly. He'll play pretty well, and then he'll go 2 games playing pretty poorly. So it's that flip flop there. So I may have contradicted myself, but I think if I had to state it again, I don't really have much faith in him if there's not another quarterback back there to put some pressure on him to make him play better, or he's gonna be riding the bench. So that's my take on that. I obviously think we need to get a linebacker. I like Parsons. I think that'll be a good snag if we get that with the ninth pick,
What
and then
about
40th
this?
pick.
What about trading for Kirk Cousins?
No, I would rather outside and
Because it
lick
sounds
a
like
tire
he's
right
on his
now.
way out in Minnesota.
If we get Kirk Cousins, I will. I'm telling you, I will not hold back on Twitter. I will not hold back on Twitter. But I think that draft a quarterback, and I think the quarterback, if he's still on the board with our 40th pick, he's projected. They got him projected in the second round. Zach Wilson out of BYU. I like the kid. I like him, and I think that he can provide some pressure on
I've
Lock's
seen
spot.
I've seen him have first round grade. Are you sure they have him projected at the 40th?
That's what I saw, but but that may have been one out of the
Hmm.
10 mocks that I saw.
Hmm.
Um, well, they got him. The one that I saw got him projected second round. This pop, his projections, he may go first, but we're ninth and 40th. I don't know if we'll trade up or not, but we need a linebacker. We need to pay Shelby Harris. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do with Von Miller. Hmm. But long story short, it's a rebuilding season, of course, and I think the GM is. Ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and say my prayers for whoever the GM is because that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a lot of pressure on
I
that
don't know.
GM.
I don't know. I think that their roster's set up pretty decent. Even if you move on from Von Miller, their defense was very good this year without Von Miller. So you can.
That's what I think so too.
I think that you have the bones there. You just got to add a little bit more meat, especially on the offensive side. You have a really young team with a lot of speed. My thing is, what are you going to do with Philip Lindsay? Because statistically, Lindsay was one of the worst running backs in the league this year. Part of it was probably injuries. Part of it was having Melvin there, probably putting some pressure on him. My guess is it sets you up for a 1-year team-friendly deal. So, I think you have a lot of flexibility entering this draft with what you can do. So, and then what you do with Vaughn is, I mean, it's gonna be
true.
to say it's gonna be interesting is gonna be, I think, an understatement with what you do with that team. I think that team is set up to compete with. I mean that division has a chance to be very, very, very good next year. So,
right. I think it's. I think you're right. That's why I like the idea of us shooting for a linebacker. First round, I think they got us projected to snatch a linebacker, and I think that it means we could possibly work on some trades. About the thought of trading Vaughn.
What about trading back? Picking up maybe, I mean, you're in the 9th spot, top 10 pick. Trade back, you probably get another first-round pick next year.
Right. I think that.
And if you look at what the Houston Texans did to Miami had 10 wins, missed out on the playoffs, but they have a top 4 pick this year because of the Houston Texans.
And I think that's right. You really got me thinking about that, about how our defense did play extremely well with Vaughn, Shelby Harris, Chubb. I think our front seven is doing some things. Obviously, let's get a linebacker. I think we can use Vaughn. And I hate saying like that, but we can trade Vaughn for maybe another pick, maybe get another pick, and then possibly grab a quarterback from that trade. Trade Von Miller, maybe get another pick in the first, maybe even higher in the second, and get a quarterback. I don't know. That is saying it's not going to be entertaining. It's. I think saying it's going to be entertaining is an understatement. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think the GM has a lot to think about, but also I think a lot of, like you said, a lot of flexibility. I think it's going to be fun for whoever takes that position because of that fact. Defense played really well.
I mean, honestly, the Broncos are a quarterback away from being a contender. You have the Chiefs in the division. The Raiders honestly played really well this year. The Chargers had a ton of injuries. I mean, they're the AFC's 49ers. It's going to be a really good division.
I think we're right there. I think our offense. If we get a quarterback, we're talking Jerry Jeudy, who's a rookie who played well. We're talking Noah Fant, who I think it was his second year, played well. Obviously Hamler. We're talking some serious speed right there. Some young cats, and a young quarterback. So I think we're one pick away, one piece for that offense to really become explosive and to really put some pressure on the Chiefs. I think we keep. I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do with the running backs. Sheldon played some good football. He did. Obviously, he has to work on the fumbling issues. He knows that, and he will correct that. But as for Philip Lindsay, I think it's tough because when you got that tandem, you got a running back that does put the ball on the ground, and you got a running back that doesn't at all. It's like I think that's his strongest asset. I don't know. I can go down that rabbit hole forever, but I think it's going to be an entertaining year off season for the Broncos. About those Packers.
Number 1 seed. So speaking of the Packers, we got a couple questions from Facebook actually.
Nice.
So one of them was, let me see here. Who would the Packers rather face? The Bears for a third time this year or the Saints? So the first round of the playoffs, the Packers will either play the Rams or the Bears. The Bears are the last seed, so if the Bears win, Packers will face the Bears, and then the Rams look very good. But I'm assuming what he means is the Bears next round or the Saints in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I say
To me, it's obviously the Bears. It wasn't even. It wasn't close. It wasn't close at all. You're facing Mitchell Trubisky. Like the Packers just tear up good defenses.
You know them very well.
Against the best defenses the Packers faced, they put up 35 points averaging. So the only game where they didn't score points was the Tampa Bay game at Tampa Bay, where just nothing was right. So I'm honestly not that scared of Tampa Bay. I am scared of the Rams. Like, the Rams had no quarterback yesterday, and they shut down that Seattle team. I don't know how good Seattle really was. All I could think watching that game yesterday was how you thought that Russell Wilson was far and away MVP for the entire year.
That was the beginning of the year.
At the end of the year, you said Russell Wilson MVP. Aaron Rodgers is trash. He's not getting in the Hall of Fame. You know what? It's Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson got
Clearly,
Packard.
you guys can tell.
He got Packard.
Clearly, you guys can tell he's lying. I would not have said that based on simple observation.
So,
Aaron Rodgers has sealed that. He's sealed that deal for sure.
So looking at the Rams defense,
sneaky.
I don't know how. I don't know how they ended up with only 10 wins. They're a good team.
They are. And
they're very, very good. But I mean, who knows who's going to be their quarterback next week? I believe Cooper Kupp might have had a serious injury. Aaron Donald, we don't know how serious his injury was. That defense is scary. Like, Jalen Ramsey's playing at the old Jalen Ramsey level. So, like, Jalen Ramsey versus Devontae Adams, get your popcorn ready, as Terrell Owens would say. But so I would say my pick would be the Bears.
Right.
There was a Bears fan asking me, and I think he was facetious about it. His Bears got into the playoffs, even with getting smoked by the Packers. So he's probably pretty happy. The Saints, the past few years though, they've been letdowns in the come playoff time. So they very well could be a letdown again. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see,
man. I think. Are good?
I was just gonna say.
All I was gonna.
You go.
Go ahead. Oh, me go? Okay. All I was gonna say was that I think we can't ignore the fact, man, that that was a really good football season.
Well, we'll see
given
tonight.
Given the pandemic, and then I think it's going to be a very exciting playoff season. I do. I think we're going to see some really good and exciting football. Because I feel like the players, I feel like they really like the fact that there's very minimal fans or not any at all. Maybe obviously some don't like the fact that it may feel like a scrimmage, but I think for the communication on the field, I think it's right there, especially from quarterback calling plays, quarterback making audibles, obviously quarterback hearing the headset. I think that communication is just making things, for some teams, of course, making it just click. It's just that well-oiled machine. So I'm looking forward to seeing how playoff season is going to be. I think it's going to be some really good football, though. I don't think the Packers are going to make it, though, all the way, but
yeah, I mean, it's playoff season. I don't care who they play. Bring them all. We'll beat the best. So,
we'll see.
I mean, obviously the Seahawks are knocked out, so that's the number 3 seed gone. So we'll see if the 2 seed can move on. Don't care who we face as playoffs. Packers got to beat the best. So
what happened to the Seahawks?
Their offense just was predictable. It was one note. It was run or throw deep. That was kind of it. So we'll see.
Like,
We'll see what changes they make for next year. But
right.
Tyler Lockett really had a bad second half. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if that was play calling, but yeah. So here we go. We got another question. So the first question was from James Farrell. What's up, Jimmy? Miss you, bud. Our next one is from Dan the Man, Dan Anderson. What's your picks for the Super Bowl and who's winning it all?
Ooh. Ooh.
So I'll go first. It's gonna be Packers Chiefs, and this is the Packers' year. I feel it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna regret that because I go into every game nervous. I go into every game assuming that the worst is gonna happen because I'm a Packer fan. All right, I've been abused. No, hold on, stop that. I'm a Wisconsin sports fan. I've been abused my whole life. Wisconsin. This is your year. Don't be racist. Get the good karma. Let's go. Wisconsin deserves a championship in some sport finally.
That's tough, man. I gotta pop into my notes.
I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs.
That offense, man. I mean, come on. I think people may disagree with me on this one, but I'm going Buccaneers, Chiefs.
I hate you a little bit.
I'm going Buccaneers, Chiefs, man.
I hate you.
Buccaneers, Chiefs. I think Brady.
I'm saying that facetiously, everybody, but I do hate you a little bit.
I think we have yet to see this season. I think we have yet to see Brady's best football.
We did see it. All right, it was week 5 against the Green Bay Packers. He hasn't been the same since.
I still don't think we've seen. I something's telling me Tom Brady in the playoffs this year, the new team now with the Patriots obviously home, so he's looking at Belichick like, see, I didn't need you, you needed me. Now I'm going to continuously prove it. I think right now Brady, I think he's in the driver's seat. I really do. For obviously that for that conference. Obviously, the Chiefs. Many defenses can't stop that offense. You really can't because you go cover one. If you go cover one, you're dumb. Because you have a mobile quarterback, so everybody's turning their backs and sprinting, and you can try to QB spy, but he's a very mobile quarterback. You go zone, he's just going to pick you apart with no look passes, and obviously they got a really good running back there. So I mean, it's there's not really much you can do to the Chiefs, but the Bucks. I think they're gonna waltz their way in. I think Brady has yet to show his best football.
Maybe. We knew that offense was one of the most talented in the entire NFL. I really think that if Washington wasn't to their 4th backup.
Talking about Chiefs?
No, I'm talking about Tampa.
Bucks. Gotcha.
I think Washington had a big chance in that game if they weren't down to their 4th quarterback, but it is what it is. They had a chance. Defense couldn't make a stop. When Antonio Brown is your number 3 wide receiver and Cameron Brate is your number 2 tight end, your offense is ridiculous. So, yeah, I think that goes to kind of show, though, the talent of Aaron Rodgers this year. You got Devontae Adams, and who's the other consistent person? There's not one. So
what's his name? Starts with L. Oh, he's
Lazard.
What's his name?
Alan Lazard.
That long name, the hyphen.
Marquez Valdez.
No, the other one with the hyphen. Yeah,
he's
pretty decent.
He's
I like Lazard more though.
Yeah, they're both kind of. They both have had their drops issues. Who knows if they counted those as drops?
They just have to work on their consistency.
It is what it is. So their number one tight end's name is Robert Tonyan.
So you got Packers, Chiefs. I got Buccaneers, Chiefs.
So we both are picking the Chiefs. And who do you think's going to win it? You didn't say, did you?
I did not say, but
if you pick the Buccaneers, Chiefs, we're going to have a problem.
Chiefs.
You know who's going to make it, right? The Browns.
No. That fair come to an end here pretty soon. Which I still think we can't ignore the fact that
they don't have head coach, an offensive line coach. What was the
last time?
2001?
Yeah.
I think it was 2001.
Right. So, I mean, we can't ignore that. That's for sure, I think.
Do you know who his quarterback last time?
People need to start giving Baker Mayfield some credit.
Do you know who the quarterback was the last time they made the playoffs?
Was it Couch?
No. Couch was terrible in the NFL. It was Derek Anderson.
Okay. I'm actually familiar.
He was the backup.
Okay.
And then he came in and led them to the playoffs.
Okay. But Browns, I think people need to start giving Baker Mayfield his credit. I do.
No.
I think so. I think so. And
he needs to show it for more than 6 games at a time.
He has a lot of help with that backfield, that tandem. I'll tell you that. But I think it's going to be an entertaining playoff season. I'm most definitely looking forward. So I got Chiefs winning it all against the Bucs.
If the Bucs make it, I'm going to fight you because you put it out into the world. You put it out into the world.
Obviously, you're going to go Packers, right?
Well, duh, I already did.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I got you. Okay, all right.
We said this is the year Wisconsin stop being racist. Get us our karma. Let's go.
We'll see.
It's time for Wisconsin to win a championship. All these MVPs, no championships.
True.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
That's true. I mean, you're technically still winning championships. I mean,
no, you weren't.
I mean, 2012 we won the Big Ten championship.
With an asterisk.
I mean, you guys technically, you won your division. You guys are NFC. What conference are y'all in?
Division? We're in the NFC conference.
NFC. Yeah, what is y'all's division?
The North.
Obviously, y'all are Chiefs.
How do you not know King
Vikings,
of the North?
Bears.
He's the King of the North.
That's where that saying comes from. No. For some reason, your guys' division, I always lose track of.
It used to be the Central, and they used to have Tampa Bay in their division.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
We got Lions, Vikings, Bears.
Oh my.
And Packers. Oh my. So I mean, you guys win your division. Win your division. That's
you know what you can do? Okay. You sit back on your laurels and root for your historically terrible Broncos. And you leave us Packer fans alone for now.
Well, your guys' last Super Bowl was the season of 2009. You guys played in February of 2010.
2010 Super Bowl.
And we are 2015. Season of 2015. Played in February 2016. And so we've been to the Super Bowl twice in the last 2013. Last 8 years. You guys have been to the Super Bowl.
That's because we only go if we're going to win. We're not one of these. We're going to make it and lose.
You guys have gone once in the last 11 years. And you won, but
we're 1-0. You're 1-1, so your 500 winning percentage compared to our 1,000 winning percentage. I don't know which is higher.
11 years, man. Of Aaron
you
Rodgers
don't have to tell me. I know. You go back 20 years and Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I'm very, very, very aware of how mediocre the Packers have been. And it's all because they refused to fire Mark McCarthy.
Could you imagine if Aaron Rodgers...
And Mike Sherman. Mike Sherman set the Packers back for years.
Imagine if he had the Chiefs' weapons.
Could you imagine if he had a Tampa Bay weapons?
Right.
Just one of those Tampa Bay weapons with Devontae Adams. One of those Chiefs weapons with Devontae Adams.
You can even see the Broncos. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
With Devontae Adams. But anyways, what we got, man? What we got?
All right. What are you gonna stream today?
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I got to do some catching up. I got the Elgato S Plus now. I got RJ's PS4. So
tell the people what's on that PS4. That PS4 is special. Why is it special?
Darth Vader. It's a collection.
It is
it's a collectible.
The Star Wars PS4.
Yeah, Darth Vader on there. I'll be streaming Rocket League. I'll be streaming Madden. I'll be streaming today for sure.
We got a question about your Rocket League skill, by the way. Why are you so bad?
It was bad that last time, but I
think it was previous like 2 or 3 times.
But I'll answer that though. I didn't know how much of a difference there is, playing from right now. I'm on a PC monitor as opposed to playing on a television. So when you play faster games like that, there's a big difference because when you play on a television, it feels like you're moving in slow motion. I'm not making this up. You guys can obviously test it yourself. Playing on a monitor, obviously a PC monitor, it's smoother, it's faster, it's more.
The refresh rate is higher,
it's more
so
fluid.
The frames are moving faster.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good at Rocket League. Obviously, RJ, you know that we're pretty darn good at Rocket League. I can't play that game on a television. It's way too slow for me. Just got to play on a PC monitor, which I'll be streaming today. So you'll get to really see my skills on that. But yeah, watch some football today. Stream. Be a good day. What about yourself? You gotta get Elgato, man.
I've been playing some Mass Effect. That's why with a sweatshirt. Yeah, sweatshirts from the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that it got reviewed poorly because it came out in not great shape, but I think it deserves another review because it's a lot better. There's a lot less bugs. It was basically Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk. So yeah, I'll be probably watching a little bit of football, editing this down so that it can be put out today. What game today are you most looking forward to? Oh, I played some Rainbow Six last night. I should say that, and it went a lot better than I was expecting it to. So I was not completely useless. And there's a lot of changes.
Let me pull up the schedule. Let me pull the schedule up because I got one in my head, but I want to make sure I don't miss any of them. You know what I'm really looking forward to? So my number one today, what is actually tonight, Steelers Browns. That's my number one. I think the Browns are actually going to shock the world. I really do.
With no head coach, no offensive line coach, I don't even know if they have an offensive coordinator. I think they got like 7 players on the COVID list.
I think that's what I'm saying. That's why I said shocked. I think they're going to shock the world because the Steelers have a really good defense, but their offense is not that threatening.
It's been like the Seahawks.
Yeah, not that threatening of an offense. Defense is obviously phenomenal, but so Browns Steelers as my top, but I think as for my second, I'm not really looking forward to the Ravens Titans. I think it's going to be it's up there. I think I'm in the minority when I say that, but
see, that's the game I'm most looking forward to. I'm most looking forward to Ravens Titans.
Yeah. So obviously Ravens Titans, Bears Saints, Browns Steelers. I got Browns Steelers. You got Ravens Titans. Who do you got for winning that?
Titans. I think the Ravens. They've had a fairly disappointing year, and I think it's going to continue. I think they really need a more consistent wide receiver than what they've gotten. Maybe Hollywood Brown could be that, but they need another year. Yeah. So I got the Titans.
Nice. So me, Browns, Steelers, but I think for my second one, obviously obviously Ravens Titans. It's gonna be an exciting day. Exciting day, some wild card football. I think it's I think we're gonna see some stuff today. We are.
Some stuff. Well,
DVR.
obviously we're gonna see some
stuff. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see some exciting stuff. We're gonna see some down to the wire football. Down to the wire football. This is where coaches make their money. This is where it's at.
Or
management,
players.
Field position, obviously the players too. But I think the coaches, man, once they get into the playoffs,
it's over.
Make sure your team is
over.
Yeah, you got to make sure your team is in the best position possible to win the football game.
You hear that, Mike McCarthy? I can't believe he survived his first year. All right.
Dallas, yeah.
Where can they find you, Monts? I think this is the perfect time to
move along. Forever. You guys can find me on Twitter at MonteBall28, Instagram MonteBall. Obviously, our Untapped Cake pages as well on social media. Send us messages, questions. If you just want to chat with us, we'll give you a call. We're pretty engaged. Where can they find you, man?
I'm at It's Trickster. I added them to the stream. Point out Monts. It's ITZ, one in Trickster.
Nice.
And then, you find us on Tap Keg anywhere. Just Google on Tap Keg. We show up. So, please shoot us questions. Shoot us, your sober days if you want. Whatever. We're free. So, let's try to be better tomorrow than we were today. Because at least if we fail, we're trying. And let's have a good week, everybody.
Absolutely.